Ow. So we sell our game, we give them a piece of it for free to then get them addicted. That's what demos are. All right, live on YouTube. All right. All right. What is on the list? What's on the list? What's on the list? Discord ping? Oh, shit. Um... Sorry, I was reading something. All right. Free trials? I feel like games don't do trials anymore. It's just demos. You guys remember when games used to have like... I still remember when I was younger on like the PS3 and I didn't have enough money to buy Skate 3. I ended up buying it later on, but Skate 3 had like a thing where you could play for like an hour or two in like a small region. I still remember there was like a ramp to a curve and everybody just went to that ramp to a curve and just fucking flung themselves. Spent hours on that shit. You would just, once the trial was over, you just close it, reopen it, and kablamo, you got your 2 hours back. Yep, I remember those days. MMOs do? MMOs are outdated. Unfortunately. Outdated for me. I'm just, you know, not really into it anymore, to be honest. All right, we got a bunch of stuff we need to do. These two bugs, I cannot figure them out. So we'll see if this is still a problem. Is this still a problem? Let's open up the game. So I did some changes. Firstly, just need to see if I maybe broke the game. I'm bald. Okay, the S plus rank works now. Full screen seems to work. When I go to the edge of the screen, it's not escaping the screen. So that seems to be pretty good. I'm curious to see if people still experience that bug where their controller goes in like a random direction while playing. Curious to see if that's still a problem. Wait, why do I always have auto aim? Oh, because I have mouse aim assist turned on. I was wondering if I broke something. There's been a few that gives you some hour playtime. There's a game that would give you 2 hours of playtime and you could buy the game after and it would save your 2 hours of playtime. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Mirror's Edge 30-minute demo. I don't remember ever playing that. I wonder if I should do some camera stuff when you're in combat range. Is it possible to make a 3D game with linear story and cutscenes and basic combat in Unreal with just blueprints? Of course. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I kind of want to add 3 more enemies in here. And the reason for that is because you can't get perfect clean suits constantly. Yeah, making a main story can take a lot of time compared to just gameplay features. They were just wondering if it's possible to do it with Blueprint. You could definitely do it with Blueprint. You know, basic. Bought a game recently, just need some free time to play it. Love seeing you work on it too. Hey, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Just adding to it? Yeah, well, the reality is making any game is difficult. No matter the elements. Story, gameplay, whatever. It's all difficult. Fortnite is entirely blueprints? That is incorrect. That is incorrect. It uses a lot of blueprints, but it is not entirely blueprints. It uses gas. And to use gas properly, you need C++. So that's a given right off the bat. Camera eats the wall very much. Yeah, I'm thinking we might have to put some collision on this. That was just marketing crap then, like usual with Unreal. No, they use blueprints a lot. Like a lot of their items, like the grenades and stuff, impulse grenade, all that stuff. Those are done in Blueprint. The designers make those, but the foundational stuff, like gameplay ability system, etc., that's in C++. And I wouldn't doubt a lot of their like purchase systems and stuff like that are probably also in C++, because it's just a lot more secure. Ren Denny, just want you to know you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Appreciate that. They said Fortnite was all blueprints. Yeah, I don't know who said that, but it's not true. A lot of the gameplay I think is in Blueprint, but a lot of the foundational stuff is definitely C++.
Shit,
I should have channel my friend here. She's an Unreal teacher and started a channel. She'd be sharing tutorials with the other software as well, such as Nuke and Project Files. Sure as that, Len. Go for it. I don't know if links work in YouTube chat. I don't know if they do. I swear I did not turn on a filter. You can try, but... Did I model all the assets in the game? No. Like, the vehicles are from Marketplace assets. I just edited them a lot. So, like, I added the tire treads. I smoothed it out, changed the normals. There's a lot of, like, textures that are messed up in these things, but I don't really care too much, to be honest. The glass and stuff, the breakable glass I put in. Yeah. Let me put this on my list. Can look through the walls. Eris, thank you for the Prime. I don't know why the notification didn't work. Did it work, or am I going crazy? Anybody else see that? It did? Damn, am I going like that deaf or something? I didn't even, you were just yapping? Listen, man, I'm not yapping, okay? There's a difference. Thank you, Eris, appreciate it. You show some show up shaders, some examples which you use. I just use like online. You could probably find shaders similar to what I did. Like there's the edge shader, and then there's like a cell shading shader on the character, and then there's like a kind of like dithering shader, which it doesn't look all that great, to be honest. That's just like I'm feeding the ambient occlusion value and dark values and doing like a post-process material. Yeah. We contributed a whole $40 in Twitch subs. 20 months. Yeah, it's around there, like 40, 50 bucks, I guess. In total for you, that would be like 100 bucks. 50 bucks in Bezos's pocket. Wait, why is the sphere mask so small when looking through the tree? Do you guys see this shit? Guys, something not right here. I gotta change that whole shader. The thing's super flawed. Even the curb has the shader. I don't know why the curb has the shader. Let me write that down. I paid $35 for 2 coffees and a plate of food at a cafe in Toronto a week ago. I don't like your city. Yeah, shit's kind of expensive here. You need to go to the right places. But yeah, man. Coffee alone, depending on where you go, easily like $7 a coffee. That's why I bought an espresso machine, so I could just make my own lattes and whatnot. Like the whole visual identity of the game. I'm kind of in the middle. I like the direction it's going in-ish, but I also kind of fucking hate it too. Like I know there's ways that we could probably make this look better. Like we've definitely improved it. Like this is no longer goes into like the void or nothingness. Like we added like some little far details so you can see there's a little bit of depth, but you can still see like the skybox and whatnot. There's some immersion breakers, I think, is what I would call them. Big immersion breakers. The mountain over here doesn't look like a mountain. Not that I really care too much about that, to be honest, but yeah. I just bought an espresso with $7, but I don't get it enough to buy a machine. That's fair, man. That's fair. I drink coffee like every day, so. But I think based off of what a calculator said, it's going to take me like 2 years worth of one daily drink a day or 2 to make my espresso machine worth it. So, yeah. Oh wait, the collision on this guy's fucked. Collision on, I think it's called Bat. I have though, Lucas. For some of the levels, I hired 2 environment artists, or contracted 2 environment artists to kind of help me with making some of the levels. The retail coffee will go up in price. It'll be less than that. Coffee in general is going to go up in price, and surely cafes are probably going to respond to that as well. There's like a curve showing how much coffee has gone up, and it's just straight linear fucking curve. It's like, great. The Great Depression, it's gonna come. You know why? Because of coffee prices. Just you wait. Just you wait. You know one thing that's annoying is these doors, man. The I gotta say, one thing I fucking hate in Unreal, and it doesn't make any sense, is physics constraints. You can't like look at that, man. Like you can't like set limits, and for some reason it does not set up hard limits. Why do physics in Unreal just fucking suck balls, man? I've tried so many different things. I remember I did a whole stream literally trying to look into how we could fix this, and it's just fucking stupid, man. Ah! Ah! Um. So someone reported a bug. Let me write it down here. This is a pretty big bug. Red suit enemy despawns after checkpoint 0 in art exhibit. Pretty big bug. Someone said they have to do it all in one life. Sounds about right. I can imagine. I think I know where I messed up there. I like the engine, but it's a lot of band-aids. It is a lot of band-aids. However, game development in general is a lot of band-aids. Game development as a whole lot of duct tape, band-aids, and some twigs and sticks. Unreal 6 focusing on performance. Copege. Yeah, that shit's not happening. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you. Until Unreal stops relying on Vivestors, which is probably never gonna happen, we are hard stuck with dealing with, oh hey, new features. Oh hey, new features. Oh hey, new features. We're just stuck with that, man. Wasn't it over here? Yeah, here it was. Red suit spawner. I bet you it sets the checkpoint to 0. Oh, that's probably what happened. Is it just me making the game? It's just me doing programming and art and stuff like that, but there is someone else doing all the music. I don't handle any of the music. I just implement it sometimes. All right, relax, man. It's not that intense. So this happens in the begin play. Let me make sure the begin play isn't being overwritten here. Okay, good. That already adds despawn, so we actually don't need to add the despawn tag to it because it already adds it to it. And then that sets the checkpoint. I believe that was the problem. So apparently the challenge for this level is defeating the red suit in 60 seconds, I believe. We did change up the level quite a bit, so it might be worthwhile going in and seeing if that's a plausible challenge. I remember someone posting something about it. Am I a software developer? Nah, I'm a game developer. There's a difference, I think. You know what, Mikey? Crimson, why are you trying to act like I won't box you up? Like an Amazon employee? You're gonna box me up? You're gonna need a pretty big cardboard box, brother. I'm 6'3". You're gonna need a really big cardboard box. I'd actually be surprised if you could find that big of a cardboard box, to be honest. And a lot of bubble wrap. Talking about Undisputed. I've never seen that movie before. Or game. Or show. I don't know what that is. I just know it has to do with boxing. I don't know, so many good features, but some needs to be worked on through the end. Reminds me of myself. You need to start a lot of project, finish one or two only. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is, I feel like they only work on features that relate to their current projects, like Fortnite, for example, and I just don't think that is the right way of going about things. I feel like they only work on things that specifically correlate to their current development cycle in Fortnite, which I think is kind of ass. I don't think that's entirely true, but it does sometimes feel that way. It does sometimes feel like that's what it is. When you start working on this project, I want to watch from start. Oh, this project is nearly done. Do you mean the next project, Alok? Just make your own engine? Yeah, no, I wouldn't. This project, I don't think there's any footage of this. There probably is some devlogs of it, but there's no. Yeah. I don't think we have the videos anymore of when this project was getting started. So, yeah. Not that hard to make a game without an engine TBAs. You really need to know what you're doing to get the most out of it. You could say that about anything, though. You can make a great coffee, but you really need to know what you're doing. You can make a house, but you really need to know what you're doing. You can build a car, but you really need to know what you're doing. You can run a country, but you really need to know what you're doing. Yeah. I don't know. For me, my opinion is just do whatever you want to do. You know, if you want to work on an engine, go for it. Thing is, you don't even need to make a full-on engine. You can use a framework, and I've seen people do that, and they've been able to do it. I think the problem is, though, with doing that, you are not only trying to solve one problem, which is making a game, you're also on top of that now solving a new problem, which is making software that allows you to facilitate towards making the game. So you're kind of like doing two fucking jobs at once. And game dev on its own is already like 16 jobs. So that's not to say you can't do it. You could definitely do it. There's a lot of people doing it, and there's a lot of framework stuff out there now, like Odin. You got Odin, Jai, I guess. You got all this other shit too. Not to say you can't do it. It's just, I feel like you're going to be stretching yourself thin, especially if you're just starting out, because you're going to have to learn all these different things. It's like, it's going back to like, I started out Unreal trying to make multiplayer games, and I shot myself in the foot because not only was I trying to learn the process of networking, I was trying to learn gameplay on its own. So me going to single player allowed me to actually like learn game development properly in a single player scenario, which then allows me to learn it in a multiplayer scenario once I get to that. I just say fucking do whatever you want to do. Just do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? For me, I'm using Unreal. Do I hate it sometimes? Yeah, I do. But I just try to get past the issues. That's really it. After you're done making your game, you're going to be covered from head to toe in band-aids and duct tape. Yeah, this game is like a mummy. It's like fucking wrapped in toilet paper and shit. Random things of duct tape, random little band-aids with like a Luke Skywalker on the front. Yeah. Star Wars branded band-aids. You can pour yourself a glass of water, but you really need to know what you're doing. Okay, the little suit enemy despawning should be fixed. So that should be good for the next patch. So for the challenge is registering, but I still didn't get the Alpha Beta Charlie code. Which one is that? Which one was that? Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. That's the one. Did I push the beta branch yet, or after the stream? Before I started the stream, I actually made a build. The new beta is up. As you can tell, I got the S Plus achievement, so that's fixed. So the beta branch, the new patch is up. So if there's any more bugs, feel free to let me know. This one I'm surprised by. The Caribbean one not working. That one should work. Oh yeah, let's test this level because what's the challenge for it? Killing the red suit in under 1 minute? Eliminate the red suit in under 1 minute. Let's see if we can do it. If I can do it within a reasonable amount of... A bunch of enemies got aggroed for some reason. No game sound? There should be, it's just really quiet, I think. New to UE, and to be honest, it's a little overwhelming trying to figure things out. Any recommendations for a noob? What are you trying to learn? Like, what are you trying to do with Unreal? I think that's the best question to ask first, right? What would you say is your goal? Don't say, I want to make a full game. You know, you gotta have a goal to start with first. I guess that is a goal. I guess it's making a full game, but I would make pieces first. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is. We gave him a dynamic spawn, and I guess the dynamic spawn immediately aggroes the player. Yo, this music is sick. Don't make games as a first project. I think it's okay to work towards it personally, but I think it really depends on what you want to do. I think that's the best first question to ask is, what do you want to make with Unreal? Perfect, that's set to default, but in the red suit spawner, let's refresh this node. Why is it set to false? Oh, you fuck. Why does Unreal fucking hate me, man? Please tell me that the other ones... manager and engagement manager. Yeah, there's a whole learning section that's pretty useful now. That, like, I saw a couple videos on there. They seemed very, very useful. I don't know why the engagement manager is in the checkpoints folder. That's wild. Me getting confused when shit is like in a weird spot. Alright, let's see. No, not the arena. Arena manager. There it is. When we spawn an enemy, yeah, okay, it's set to default. For some extremely odd reason. For some reason, enemy spawn sequence, that one's set to true. The red suit for some reason just had it set on false for some reason. It's a funny video called The Unreal Way. I know, I showed it on stream like a week ago, I think, when the video came out. Let's see here. That should be fixed now. If I go to the art exhibit, the enemies should not all immediately aggro. One thing that does kind of suck is that door is highlighted at a distance. I might want to change that. It doesn't look very pretty. Especially in third person. It's really creepy. You can hear their walking noises now. Yeah, 1 minute might be a bit too short. Like, you'd have to really rush. You'd have to really rush the point. So let me just for safety set it to like 2 minutes instead. No. Fuck, that's hard coded in the localization. I found something, not sure if intended. Oh, did you jump on top of the truck in, Wait, what'd you find? His hand doing the gun thing? Yeah, the player does that. It doesn't look very good in this scenario because you're technically looking down. The system is very like 90-degree like level. So when you're actually aiming, I don't think there's like a up or down. But yeah, there's a whole system. It goes. Let me see if I can find it. I think I called it trick shot. Trick shot. Yeah. There's a whole system for it. Looking behind, going to your side, all that kind of stuff. And it happens in dual wielding as well. So in dual wielding, we do each hand has its own kind of thing. That was kind of one of the biggest appeals I wanted to do for the Deagle, is really making it so these actually had some flair to them. Only thing is height doesn't work too well with it. So unfortunately. Yeah, there's a lot of details in the game that are extremely subtle, and you have to like really look at your character to see it. I'm happy because third person kind of shows more of those details. Like you actually start seeing them a little bit more physically. Like it's funny, one person I think found the detail on the HUD. When you shoot, the gun actually like, let's see if I can do this, by the way. Only problem is I'm gonna have to fix that in all of the other languages. Let's see if that works. Oh shit. Oh shit. Limit the red suit in under 60 minutes. Yep. Fuck. Instead of a hashtag, I think we have a time. In under time minutes? I think that's a command. Yes. So I don't have to change up some of the localization is not going to be right, and we'll have to fix all that. And all of the 9, how many languages are we going to have now? Like 9, 10? How many languages are we going to have? We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ay, 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 we're going to have 10. 10 languages other than English, so technically 11. Because we're adding German, Korean, Ukrainian, Russian, and Portuguese. Full audio? Full audio is just in English. People speak in your game? I have a couple, I got a couple voice lines. I might add some more, just because I feel like the enemies are a little empty without them. Okay, so let's check. I set it to 2 minutes. Eliminate the red suit in under 2 minutes. I think that's pretty fair. I think 2 minutes is a lot more fair now, especially with the changes that we made to that level. Backstab 10 enemies. I actually... you could probably do it with a silenced pistol. Just do those lines in other languages, absolutely butcher the language? Nah. I think if I were to do multi-language stuff, I would just make all of the enemies speak different languages. Because I feel like that would happen in like a kind of Hitman world anyways. I feel like this challenge really leans a lot more into top-down. Add Tunisian? Listen, guys. You know how much it costs me to add a language to the game? It costs me $330 just to add a language. There's no way you're getting either of these execution kills. I think that was me cheating. I don't think there's an enemy around here. There shouldn't be. Oh, shit. There's no way you could backstab 10 enemies. I think we might have to change that challenge. Yeah, the game does not make it easy. Nothing if you use AI? You mean like for translations? Nah. It doesn't help. That guy's literally looking in this direction. I think the only way we could do a bunch of backstabs is, I believe, this guy needs to turn around in a different direction. This guy needs to face this direction. This guy could probably be over here. Yeah, Bill. The token system, me fixing it and making it work properly definitely made the enemies a lot more aggressive. Definitely made them a lot more aggressive. I think what I might do for third person is I might give more priority for a token to enemies that are, at least for third person, if they're in view. Because a lot of times you'll have an enemy on the side, outside of camera view, shoot at you or something like that. I think in third person we might be able to make it so enemies that are within view, or at least nearly within view, are more prominent to get priority over other enemies. But we should still have enemies shoot at us from the side. You know what I mean? I'm maybe even thinking a sound effect when an enemy is about to fire could be pretty good. Remember you passing by, got your stream recommended on my feed. Good luck to you and have a productive time. Hey, thank you, Stalker. Hope you have a great day. The flashlight affects the dithering on the trees, by the way, and at a pretty large distance. Where are you looking at that, Flick? Are you looking at that on level 1? Wanted to try myself in Game Mode 2. Did a sprite and animated it for movement and attack, but never went past that. It is definitely, it's definitely a challenging hobby because there's a lot of parts to it, but I feel like it's a lot more accessible now than ever, you know? It's just, there's definitely a lot of patience involved. The flashlight affects the dithering on the trees. So let me see what you mean by that. Flashlight affects the dithering on... You mean like the flashlight... You might have to let me know which level, Flick, because I don't see it. Because I think I specifically made their shadows not get affected by the dithering. So it might be a specific tree. It'd be a cool mechanic in real life. Enemies only shoot you when you see them. Video games are a lot of that. There's a lot of games that do that that you don't even know do that. It's such a subtle thing to make the player feel that little bit more in control to an extent. Maybe I think might be the wrong term. Is it meant for the flashlight? Make tree invisible at location? Oh, it's not the flashlight. That's just in general. Wherever you're aiming, I think it will set it to invisible. Not the cleanest thing in the world. Admittedly. It definitely could be improved. I agree. I see what you mean, I think. I think it's mostly just for visibility, but yeah, over here it does look kind of weird. In top-down, it also looks different than what it used to. I don't really know why it changed. It is very noisy dithering. I kind of hate it. I kind of don't like that. Anyways, hold on. Red suit enemy, we changed that. Technically, that's a different challenge, but I'll just associate it with the same thing. It does look weird. Yeah, it definitely does look a bit weird. Because you can, for some reason, it masks it at a distance. Yeah, we could probably improve dithering on trees. Player can look in a direction in 3PP and it hides even though it's far away. Curb affected by dither masking. Let's just fix that real quick and then we can fix the collision. Might as well get these small tasks out of the way. Okay, let's Oh. It uses its own noise. It actually does not use dither temporal, it uses noise. The noise node. Which is kind of expensive. It's fast, but I respect that you're not just moving on to the next game, that you're trying to make sure everything works and looks good in CFR. I'm trying to make sure everything mostly works, like mostly like the weird quirks and things that would definitely impact the gameplay. You know, that kind of stuff. I think that's the biggest thing. You have it working on one tree type. Which tree is it? That might help me. Is this the screenshot? I don't know if it's working here, because it's still doing it. It is still doing it. It's just that I guess it's two-sided. Why have it on in 3PP in the first place? So in third person, we're supposed to be doing it in a different way in third person. But it's mostly for trees and stuff like that that starts clipping the camera a lot, and it doesn't have collision. That's mainly the thing for trees specifically. I think it's the fact that we're using noise. This noise. God, I hate this fucking material. I hate this material so much. Add some camera collision on them if it's that bad. Nah, trust me, that would make it feel worse, I think. Compiling 5,900 shaders. Well, time to slap some gameplay on the screen, I guess. Well, I suppose I'll just, yeah. We'll see if this actually does anything. What was it using in the position? It was using the world space to view space. Interesting. Very interesting. Watch a creepy paranormal video in the meantime. You know, I don't know if I will, but are there any interesting game devlogs? If my YouTube will even load, because compiling shaders is eating up my entire GPU. Well, looks like we're doing nothing. Let's watch Prismatica's stream. I found a critical bug. If you find a critical bug, I would make a whole different thread for it, because when there's a lot of things in one thread, it makes it difficult for me to look back and find it. If it's things like this, for example, like little, you know, out of bound, little visual fuckery, this is fine in one thread, and I can try to cover it. But if it's something really critical, it helps to have yeah, have a different one, because then I can find it a lot easier. Yeah, I appreciate it. I can't use the browser while compiling shaders either. It just like eats my entire computer. I feel like this didn't happen with my old CPU, which is kind of the funny part. Also, it's kind of crazy that changing one single material function requires every single material that is using it to change it. Okay, tell you what, I think the effect is good. I think I kind of like the effect. Here's the problem. We're not tiling it enough. Shaders compiling all the time? Nah, that's just a perpetual UE issue forever. Well, time to compile the shaders again. Yep. What about hard edge circle with zero dithering? I had that before. I did not fully like the look of it as a hard edged kind of look. This material and this effect in general needs quite a bit of work. Okay. You can, you can jump through the door, okay? All right. Never seen anyone try that yet. That's new. Let's do this. We'll save everything real quick. I might be able to... Yeah, I guess I'll check it out. Fuck it. Not that I need to. I'm pretty sure I don't need to check it out if I adjust one material function. But whatever. Whatever. Yeah, alright. Do you guys know where to promote Unreal Engine tutorial channel? Side of Reddit seems like my can't publish for some reason on Reddit. I'd say just post it on Twitter and shit like that. Even if there's no one there, just put some hashtags on it. If the videos are good, informative, it'll get out there. I think also YouTube algorithm will pick it up at some point. I'd say those are the biggest things. Just try to gotta be consistent with the uploads as well. Definitely not one of those things that happen overnight. Which level am I looking for? I'm looking for mansion. Watch out for the Reddit rules. They're gonna clap you ass. Yeah. Like before I started doing any sort of like little tiny promotion stuff on my on Reddit, I had an account that was already like I was already posting shit in places, so you can easily get blacklisted very quickly. Very, very quickly you will get blacklisted if they find that your account is literally just being used for promotional reasons. All right, that should be fixed. Easy fix. I'm surprised no one found that before. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't have a box there, to be honest. I love how the door frame is fucking broken. You guys see this shit? Look at this fucking horrendous door frame. Because this is scaled up, one of the boxes is inversed or something? Like, what? Yeah. Okay, now let's go back and let's see how that looks. Now that we changed the system, which is also going to change, I think, all of the dithering. Yeah, that doesn't look very good at all. I don't know what happened in top down as well. Top down is like broken. God. God. Ah! X and Y are scaled to fit the screen. Let me do this. Can I preview this? It's not changing the preview. Fucking shit, man. Oh, come on, man. It's not updating the preview. I hate this. I hate this so much. Ah. Yeah, she's probably gonna need a bunch of karma, a bunch of posts in other places that are not self-promoted. Bunch of stuff. Getting ready to sell a sci-fi game music back. I'd love it if you checked it out. Let me see. Yeah, it's cool. It's got a little bit of a... It's got a bit of a retro sound to it. It's got a little bit of a retro sound to it. I dig it, man. Cool. I think what's annoying about this is I can't even preview the fucking thing without having to compile 5,000 shaders. I think that's got to be the worst part of all of this. It's just wasting our time compiling all these shaders. What I could do before I died, nearly, I could duplicate the material function, just put it on one material, and then do that, but yeah. She doesn't do clickbait. The thing is, it doesn't matter if there's clickbait or not. Any promotion is a very like hit or miss thing on Reddit. It's going to be a very hit or miss thing on Reddit. Especially if it's like YouTube videos, even if it's a tutorial, any of that stuff, it's going to be very hit or miss on Reddit. Redditors are just kind of like that. Some days it'll work and it'll do just fine. Some days Redditors will downvote you to hell and fucking back. Yeah. It's still fucking... Oh my god, screen aligned UVs, you suck balls. I don't know why the screen aligned UVs are just not working, but... Like, this just doesn't... It's not, like... It's not changing it. Let's try converting it to a parameter. Does that change anything? Apparently this is the only way to change it. But then this is not screen aligned. Or is it screen aligned? No, it's not. It's mesh based. And even then, this shit's not even working. I'm gonna go fucking crazy. Okay, so X 100% and Y 100% does not take into account the size. Oh god. No, there's some screen artifacts by doing that. What is this? Which node is this using? Screen position. There we go. Now I can fucking tile it. Ugh. God. What a pain in the ass. Now, time to compile 6,000 more shaders. Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, let's go, dude! So excited! Excited! Does dithering really look better than hard edge? I felt like hard edge looked weird. But that being said, this shader in general is ass. So, so you know, this shader in general is kind of just ass. So, yeah. And now saving is taking forever, probably because we're compiling shaders. Wow, this stream is extremely eventful. A lot going on. We got a lot going on today. What else is on our list? The thing is, we use the same dithering effect for both third person and top down. I think ideally it would make more sense if we used a different system for third person. And that would probably make more sense. That sequence with the window is just so awesome. I keep rewatching it, how he went through the glass. It's a fun one. I need to add something in that level because some people are not able to, I guess, figure out how to jump over. And I need to put like a little catwalk at the bottom just in case you miss, and then you can still kind of, it would just waste more time if you ended up missing. Personally don't like it in third person, feels out of place. I saw a review that said they didn't like third person as well. The beauty is you just ignore third person. You just don't play in third person. I think that's the beauty of third person top down in a game, is you could just choose which one you want to play in. Oh, the material thing. Personally don't like it in third. Oh, okay. I reread it. You're right. My bad. I just need it for like the trees. That's literally mostly what it's for. Trees and like foliage, just so it like. But the thing is, it's only supposed to start appearing. It's only supposed to start appearing when your camera is literally inside of the tree, for example. That's it. That's the only moment when it's supposed to like start fading it out. I'd rather manually move the player / camera than have that. Yeah, but I can't expect every player to do that. You know what I mean? I have to assume that the player does not want to move their camera. It's still scaled improperly. In third person, it looks fine-ish. In top down, it doesn't look great because it's not taking into account which view we're in. High quality for direct use, bad for bumps, doesn't work on mobile. 16 instructions per level, 1 texture lookup. Always tiles with a repeat of 16 tiling mode is not an option for fast gradient noise. "77 instructions, 80 instructions." Voronoi, also known as Worley or Cellular Quality 1 search searches 8 cells. Quality 2 searches 16 cells. Honestly, we could probably just use this one. Is this an older version of UE? This is UE 4.26, if I remember correctly. I wonder if we could do this without screen position. Man, I wish I could just like test this out without compiling it. I have a thing called Enable Real-Time Preview. I don't know what Real-Time Preview does. Like, does anybody know what that does? I'm gonna try this. I've never known what real-time preview does. All nodes are previewed live. Like oh, is it just that preview that's live? Is that all it's doing? That seems to be the case. It's literally just that. That's really fucking stupid. Well, time to compile another 6,000. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Hello? My Stream Deck didn't work. That was weird. I'm new at UE, but I don't understand why pro devs sometimes use an older version. My game is released with UE 4.26, and I just don't want to risk upgrading it to UE 5. There's just not really any features that I find necessary, especially at this stage of development. If I was in feature implementation, like still creating content and features and new features, maybe I would go to UE 5 literally just for motion warping. That's it. I would go DX11. I would disable Nanite, disable Lumen, disable VSM, all that stuff. It would literally just be for motion warping. When should I switch to an older version and when new? Depends on what you're doing. What's motion warping? It's like it gives you the control to manually adjust how how the root motion works. So let's say you have like a climb up animation. Instead of you doing the system of having to do a different climb up height, you can now use motion warping to actually move that motion. So it's all like kind of built in, which is pretty sick. Whereas previously you had to like kind of just do that, all of that yourself, all the systems. Yeah, UE4 does not have motion warping. I'm pretty sure that was a thing that was in UE 5.0. I want to say that was UE 5.0. You can make your own motion warping system, but motion warping can be used for attacking soft locking. Yes, probably. Yes. If you're using root motion in your attack animations, you could probably definitely use it for that as well. I'm cool with how that looks. Now the problem is wherever you're aiming, the sphere mask is for some reason impacting the exact spot where you're aiming, which looks a little silly. Like, I don't know why that's happening. Also in top-down, it was changed as well. I don't know why it looks different in top-down. In top-down, we used to have a lot better of... let me try starting it with top-down. Maybe there's a bug with that. Nah, something changed. Also, weird thing. Do you guys notice what I'm noticing? Well, okay. Well, I died, but... did I change anything with the curb? I don't remember changing anything with the curb, did I? Why is the curb suddenly fixed? Wasn't this a broken in top-down? Wasn't the curb? Yeah, this is supposed to fade out a lot more. In top-down, I don't know why it's not fading out as much anymore. I don't think... Can you diff a material? No, that's one part that does fucking suck. I can't diff this. Time to compile another 6,000 shaders. I do think this one looks better. Have you ever tried UEFN? Unfortunately. No, it was okay. There's some things that are a little bit weird. I kind of get what they're trying to do under the hood, but... Like, for example, you can't use the foliage mode because everything is a data asset. It's not a raw static mesh, so you, like, can't paint foliage because everything is a data asset rather than a I'm trying to think of words, rather than a static mesh component. Is the right side for the brain rot people? TikTok? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Before you know it, we'll have a whole screen filled with gameplay. The whole screen will be filled with it. I think there's another out of bounds. How many line traces are there in the gameplay? A lot of line traces. Hell yeah, I can focus now. Finally. A lot of brain stimulation on the screen. I love it. I'm not a shader wizard by any means. I ain't no Prismatica. So like a lot of this is kind of just all over the place. I ain't no shader wizard. I'll be honest. What's better for a new dev for learning visual node based scripting? Should we follow making a game tutorial step by step and practicing with it, or learning blueprint fundamentals? Fundamentals are obviously great, but sometimes fundamentals are boring and not fun. I would say do the thing that makes you want to open the engine. I would say do the thing that makes you want to keep reopening it and messing around with stuff. I think following a tutorial step by step might not be super helpful unless the tutor or the person giving up the tutorial is informative enough to explain what they're doing, why they're doing it. If they're not explaining why they're doing it and they're just like, put this node here and this node here, I don't think that's very helpful. My biggest advice for people starting out with blueprints is do an interaction system. You get a lot out of doing an interaction system. And then you start with clicking a button to turn on a light, turn it off. Then you do like a door. You literally just do a really simple timeline. Then you do like, you open a chest and it gives you an item. And it's like, okay, well, now I got to do arrays. I think that's the best thing, is starting with an interaction system, because then you start branching out and learning a ton of things. And struggling on your own. I think that's the best way of doing it. I'll probably include that a part of my my Crimson Unreal manual at some point. I think that will probably be the biggest focus, is interaction. Like I got a whole like section for double jumping, I guess. I still haven't finished this though. I do have to finish this as soon as possible. Got the getting started section and whatnot. I don't know. The thing is, everybody learns in different ways. I can't give you a definitive answer. I feel like anybody who gives you a concrete answer, I think is incorrect in my opinion. Do I use any C++ in this project? Like, I think like 5% of the project is C++ and the rest is Blueprint. There's a ton of tutorials that are like, I don't know how to explain how this works, but it does, so do it. That's a horrible teacher. I've heard from people that there's so many Unreal Engine tutorial creators that literally just leech off of other tutorial creators. Like they'll see someone create a tutorial on something and then recreate that tutorial in their own way. That is literally just the same thing, but they probably don't actually know the subject in its entirety. Apparently, that's a thing. Someone releases a tutorial and then 5 people release the same fucking tutorial, which I think is sounds probably pretty accurate, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, all right, we're done compiling shaders. Let's see what our thing looks like. Make an interaction interface system, I feel like is a good thing to start with. You learn a lot of things by creating an interaction system. First, you learn interfaces, which I think are a really important, crucial thing for interaction systems. You learn a lot by doing that. And then by doing that, you start with like creating some line trace system and stuff, line traces, various things within that realm that I think is extremely beneficial. Yeah. Uh-oh. Someone broke glass right here? No. Did some glass break somewhere else? Why did the glass break? Oh, the glass broke over there, but it sounded like it was... Huh, weird. Is the attenuation for that fucked? No. What? Visual scripting is kind of overrated. I think at a point creating an iterative complex system is impossible with that. You can do a lot with blueprinting. Listen, if you're trying to make an MMO though, listen, I think if you're asking questions that are like basic game design and game development questions, I don't think you should be making an MMO. You know what I mean? Once you start getting into really complex things, you can still do a lot of complex things in Blueprint. I think it's when you start having a lot of calculation, a lot of looping going on, that's when, you know, maybe it's a good idea doing a little bit of C++. Yeah. I saw someone do an update to the GASP traversal stuff using the exact code another dev posted for free on Twitter and then directed people to his Patreon to download it for like $10. I stopped watching all of those Unreal tutorial people. I think 99% of them don't know what they're doing. I think 99% of the people doing Unreal Engine tutorial content these days don't know what they're doing. I feel like a lot of the good tutorial people have not made a tutorial in years. Like they have not made content for Unreal in a while. Okay, weird. Someone's having issues with the Is this No Man's Sky? No, it's Outer Wild. Damn it, Outer Wilds! Okay, let's see here. Alpha Challenge. Caribbean 3 clean suit. Caribbean 3 time. Caribbean 4 time. Caribbean 4 no misses. Caribbean 5 time. Caribbean 5 diving kills. So those are set up properly. But unlocking the thing is not, I guess. There he is. Wait, no, that's not it. Here it is. 5 diving kills, 5 time, 4 time, 4 no misses, 3 clean suit, 3 time. And that should unlock the Punisher suit. You know, Marco. Heard about your Unreal manual. You planning on selling it eventually? I'm just gonna give it out for free, and if people wanna, if it helps them, just, you know, throw like a tip or something on the coffee page. I'm probably just gonna release it for free. Unreal's channel has some pretty useful videos for beginners. I think it's a good source. I think so too. I think Unreal's channel, like, you can even go back to videos from like 2016, old videos that even I watched, and I think those are still, like, there's still some gold mine of information out there, honestly. Yeah, Americo. Is it true that a streamer can know for how long a follower has been following him? You just click on your name, and you can see following since November 22nd, 2017. Trolling earlier for Java. I bet you someone out there made a Java plugin to get Java to work. I know someone's working on a C# plugin. I know that's in develop. Someone's developing a plugin for C#. I forgot what they called it. Yeah, this is going to be out for free. And I'll probably publicize it. I think you guys can literally see it now. You can read it now. It's just that it's not finished. There's a lot of little gaps and things that I like to put in, and also formatting. I'd like to make this look prettier. Currently, these pages look pretty fucking ugly, and I feel like Notion is not giving me a good time of creating like a really nice documentation page. So I might honestly maybe use a different thing for this, but Notion's easy. I literally just publish it and it creates a page for it and whatnot. So and I got some stuff. The first course thing is like doing double jump in 2 different ways. And that kind of goes through things like vectors, launch character, print stringing, and debugging. It's not done yet though. It's not done yet, but there's a lot of different like stuff in here to kind of teach you some of the blueprint stuff, context sensitive functions, shit like that. Yeah, literally the first lesson is open UE, start a little mini project, pick up a free asset on the marketplace, and just fuck around with it. That's it. First easiest thing to do, open the thing and just play with it like it's Legos. That's the first thing that I always recommend to people. Yeah, just get in there and just play with it. Like little moving blocks, mess around with stuff, mess around with post-process, you know. Just move around the camera, you know. That's it. That's the first step. That's the first, literally the first course that I go into. However, I am very explicit about this with this manual. This is a self-teaching manual. by heart. This is a self-teaching manual. So if you want to use this manual to like make a feature and then like not actually know what you're making, this is not the play. This is probably not the thing for you. So yeah, I don't know what happened to my dithering. It looks pretty shit in top down. I think the thing is though, 99% of people that try to pick up Unreal are either A, not going to enjoy it, and maybe they just fantasized of the process of building a game and seeing, and everyone can imagine a game, right? We can all imagine a game playing in our head, but actually putting it on paper and getting it done is a whole different story, right? So 99% of people getting into it are going to quit. That's just the reality of it. The reality of it is you look at it and you're like, well, this kind of sucks. That's just the pure reality of this whole thing. So weird. I'm curious to see if this is actually the case. Someone is apparently not able to unlock the jacket. Idea guys. Well, I respect them, like, at least opening the engine. There's some people that are just idea guys and they don't even, you know, they don't even open the thing to begin with. Or open anything to begin with. And I don't blame people if they, like, try it out and then they're like, this is not for me. At least they gave it a shot. I don't know why this is not working. Let's check the unlock system. Maybe there's something wrong with multiple types of gameplay tags. Can you guys check if anybody in game does finishing challenges unlock some of their shit, or does it not unlock anything? Is that whole system broken? Let's see. Let's read through it real quick. I know this is fixed. Are challenges completed? No, this is not the right place. Oh no, this is the right place. No, it's not. It's not the right place. I need to check if doing challenges and levels are actually starting to unlock the cosmetics. If not, then we got a problem. Because someone apparently is not able to unlock the jacket from the Alpha Beta Charlie challenges. Let's see. Make the gameplay tag container from an array. Checks if it has any gameplay tags in the container to begin with. If it equals 0. Okay. Or has all tags. You know what? I actually see a potential problem here. Okay, this won't work. This system will not work. This won't work for multiple levels. This will only work if all of the challenges are contained in one level. The problem is we check has all tags, but we're checking for 3 separate levels. So this is going to fail on the first level. So that's problematic. That's problematic. That's not going to be good for us. Let's put that on the list. That's a red task. That's red. Cosmetic unlocks requiring multiple challenges completed from different levels will not unlock. Let's fix that right now. So we make a gameplay tag container from an array and we check if it has all tags. We have to add up all of the challenges into one array. We have to add them all into one array. Would you recommend building an environment first in a game, or the things that go into it, like interactables, etc.? If you are making a full game, I would first recommend Blockout. And Blockout would involve interactables, gameplay mechanics, various things like that. From Blockout, then you form your environment on top of it. What's the UE version? Oh, UE 4.26 is what I'm using. 4.26. But it depends on what you want. It depends on what the goal is, right? If you're trying to make a full game, follow the full workflow. Block out slash level design into environment art, detailing, blah, 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 propping, all that stuff. If you want to be an environment artist, just do the environment. You know what I mean? Just do the environment. But it heavily depends on what you want, what your goal is. You know, a lot of people ask me, how do I learn Unreal? The problem is, Unreal is used in so many different disciplines now that I feel like it's one of those things. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? Is the kind of big ticket question. I feel like. Shit. How am I gonna do this? Here we loop through all of the chapters, which gives us all of the challenges. Is this in a function? It is in a function. current completed challenges. All completed challenges array. Sure, fuck it. I'm gonna make a container for this. As we loop through this, we're gonna check the container. This will reset because it's a local variable, so whenever we go through this function again, it's gonna reset it. As this goes through, we're going to add this to our local variable. Container. Append gameplay containers. So in that way, we can check multiple levels at a time, not just one level. I would imagine this, if we go through this loop again, it's just going to call the ones that it's already set. So I think, funny enough, we can technically just do this once, but we're already going through the loop. I guess. Fucking shit, man. I don't know, dude. That's fine. We're checking if has all the tags in the tag container from this one. Da la 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 li 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 li. Bada bada boo. All right. This should fix the problem of not being able to unlock the jacket. Let me see if we can test that ourselves. So first off, in the character customization system, I need to remove debugging. I don't know where to do that. Where do I do that? Customization main. Maybe it's within the slot itself. Ah. Whoop. So now when I look at customization, a bunch of shit should be locked. So, the one we care about. This one. Alpha Beta Charlie challenges. So let's just do them challenges. You know, fuck it. Complete the level in under 0.5 minutes. Easy. Easy. That's pretty easy. Is there a gameplay video on third person? Here you go. The reason I was worried about setting up my interactable before the environment was because I was worried about how my third person camera will function in an enclosed building. So I think that's where a block out actually comes really in handy, because the collisions are going to stay relatively the same between your environment and the block out, right? So that's the biggest thing. Your block out is basically covering the collisions. So in your block out, you'll determine how your camera will function basically from there without you having to go through the process of going through the pains of having to do all that stuff. I don't know if missing is going to matter. Okay, we fucked that up. Also, apparently I can shoot right in the loading screen. Okay, cool. At least we're getting S's, so that's good. So we finished the challenges in that one. Nice. Next one, complete the level in under 0.8 minutes. Kill 8 enemies while diving in midair. Can we do both of those at once? Okay, somehow I missed. Yep, alright. That's a restart. You really have to... I feel like we're gonna... Okay, let's do this both in different instances. I think if I try to beat both of them at the same time, it's gonna be very difficult. I should probably change the color of that door, eh? I have a question. Can I just run to the end? Huh, yeah. It does, it gives it to you even if you don't shoot all the targets. Is Sufra going to go up in price when 1.0 comes out? I don't think so. Probably not. I'm probably just going to leave it at the same price. Yeah, you could beat the challenge without actually beating all the targets. Yeah, I guess we'll leave that in. Eliminate 8 enemies while diving in midair. Damn, I suck. Did I not put did I put ammo containers in these levels, by the way? I don't think I did. I might have missed that. I might have forgot to put some ammo containers in here. Damn it, dude. Okay, I'm noticing an issue when you're diving. It like speeds up the game unrealistically. You can see that? It's doing some weird stuff when we go through like a slow-mo. I just need to finish this challenge, which is less a challenge and more a chore actually as I play it. Say seconds instead. Yeah, we could. I feel like that's already 8 enemies. Not really a challenge, eh? It's a little silly, if anything. Okay, so now we have all the challenges. We should unlock that jacket. It says new. And it says new, baby. All right. Done. Fixed. I even tested it myself. Although I'm a little annoyed that... Oh, that bugged out. I don't know why that happens. I think if you click the back key... Oh, on controller you can cheat it. You can much easily... Oh, okay. If I accept the mission, is it going to run with that? No. It doesn't feel horrible on controller. Is my last day of developing on Sunday. It depends how many bugs we got. Um, what do you think of people using Reddit stories as inspiration in games? Use whatever as an inspiration. It's not my problem, not my, not my thing. And, whatever brings you inspiration, whatever. If you mean like they're straight up ripping an idea without attribution, it kind of fucking sucks balls. But like if it's just inspiration and them kind of using their own thing, I think that's fine. Did I get a new keyboard? Has it always been that loud? It's only when I click really loud, like I'm beating the shit out of my keyboard. Yeah, that's about it. It's ass. Yeah, I don't know when the last day will be of working on this, because we technically have like 2 weeks. What kind of switches do I have? I think these are browns. Yeah, they're brown. Brown switches. Which honestly is a nice in-between of tactile while not being extremely loud. Like, they're relatively soft switches. Like a concept, like using a real story to inspire a murder mystery game or a drama with different names and paces. I don't know. I don't really I don't really see. I think it just depends on how it's used. I feel like you should change the 0.8 minutes to say seconds instead so it's easier to read. Yeah, I think one of the reasons as to why I didn't do that is because, like, I could. The only problem is I don't want to change it right now because all of the text has already been sent off. And I don't want to make the mistake again where I edit the localization. And we'd have to edit all of the current languages as well. It's just it's a learning process. For the next game, I'll do a much better job of preparing systems for localization and whatnot. It's all a learning process. Yeah. All a learning process. All right, so this should be fixed in the next one. We clearly have it working. I got it to work now. Let's go back to L1. I don't think we finished the intro level that we were clearly working on. Okay, that should work. They should no longer be masking. I don't know why they were masking to begin with. Don't compile the shaders just because I clicked yes. Oh, you fuck. Select all with same material. It's probably going to select a bunch of these here as well. That's okay. They all are selected with the same material. However, it's all different static meshes. There's no custom primitive data on any of these, which is a little concerning. That means all of these are fading out. Where are we using this? Okay, that should stop them from fading out. Prismatica, how's it going, man? Thanks for the raid. Did you figure out that the milk thing? Bro got him lightning fingers. I'm thoroughly enjoying that the game's project name and will likely always be Thinwick in the project file. Yep, Thinwick lives on forever. Thinwick is here forever. Yeah, welcome everybody. Trickle in, get a seat, take a seat, take a seat. Anybody here? Yeah, just take a seat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just take a seat. Yeah, grab a fucking hot dog, you know, free hot dog. There's no condiments. It's just the bread and a dog. Bread and a dog. That's it. Yeah, that's all you. Yeah. Can look through, so let's clip the walls in the intro level. That just blows balls. Blows some balls. That blows a bunch of balls. So let's see. The collision profile of this is ass. That's because it's not blocking camera. That would make sense. Good old ball blowing. Bunch of ball blowing. They're blowing balls. I can't wait. All right. Nope, stop it. My brain go have a bloody ripper. Ripper. Have a bloody ripper. Take it easy, Prismatica. Take it easy, man. Get some rest. Get some rest. You deserve it. Where the fuck I am? Huh? They're taking me. I didn't know you could jump in there. I did not know you could go in there. There should be like a random tiny door here that you interact with and it just... And then you end up in like Mario. Legally compliant Mario, might I say. Alright, well, we fixed that. The collisions on this look better. But how do they look in top-down? This, when you switch from third person to top-down in here, it doesn't set it properly. I think it is okay. Yeah, alright. Fixed. Can look through the walls. Now, collision on the bat vehicle is not accurate. Yeah, we can fix that too. Finishing the game. X. Check mark. Oh, no wonder. I swear I made a custom collision for this, did I not? I did not. Well, that sucks. Okie dokie, and then we just bring this up, rotate it, so then we get the body, or close to the body, as close as possible. Great. I love making collision in Unreal. I love it so much. It's fantastic. It's the best. It's the best. It's the best. It's absolutely. It's the best. I'll have an idea. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yes. 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 Okay. And that is the car. That's the car. That's the car, baby. Take a look. Get in my ride. I'm fucking lagging. Get in my ride. My Rolls Royce in pink. Nintendo would publicly execute you if you used a green pipe. Joke's on them, I used a red pipe. Wait. No, it's a red pipe. That one's fine. Alright. Yeah, looks like we're good. Okay, never mind. Yeah, looks like we're good. Alright, put that on the checkbox. Alright, checkbox. Alright, get the fuck off my list. Thank you. Improve the dithering on the trees. Player can look in a direction 3 pp and it hides even though it's far away. Okay, so that's not done. I'll leave that on the list. Unreal's killing games. Unreal's killing the industry. Unreal is a plague. John Nanite? Is that his newest video? Is that... or has that always... That has just been the thing? What's the dealio? What am I looking at? I haven't watched their latest video because I was playing Doom at 240 FPS. John Nanite? I don't click on any of those videos anymore. Is the AutoConvex too trash for this? It doesn't really give too great of results, especially for something like this. In fact, the AutoConvex in general is kind of just ass. If Expedition 33 can make a functional game with UE5, then everyone else must just be lazy, overworked, or underfunded. Or more like the games that were releasing beforehand probably were all of that, overworked, underfunded, not given enough time by C-suite, or they early adopted the engine a little too early, which a lot of the games were doing, especially when it was literally just getting released, and they were trying to adopt the newest visual features way too early without any sort of knowledge on the subject yet. Now, who would have thought? A lot of UE5 games are running well, and they're looking great. Arc Raiders looked fucking great. Uses the UE5. Expedition 33. There's one more UE5 in there, UE5 game that just came out recently, or is coming out, and it was also running really well. I'm pretty sure there's one more in that list. Who'd have thought? You just needed to give it time to cook in the oven. Can you use mesh collision, or is that too heavy? That would be way too heavy. For something like this, like, takes me 5 minutes just to make a custom collision. It's more than enough. I think mesh collision just is too expensive. Do you see Dino Blade? I don't know what that is. Okay. Stop it, you John Nanine hater. It was featured on IGN. Dino Blade? Oh, this game. Yeah, I remember seeing a bunch of Twitter clips of this. I think, let me see what the latest video looks like. Yeah, it was cool. It's cool. I think it's just very early to say. In its current state, I prefer just looking at the animations over the game currently. It just needs time to cook, I think. Just needs a bit of time to cook. Put it in the oven, leave it in there for like 2-3 months, years, and then it'll be all good. Put that fucker on 50, and then leave that in the oven. Put it. Yeah, it's fun. It's a funny idea. I like it. I think it's a very, very fun, creative concept. I think it just needs time to cook from a gameplay scenario. I think the animations look sick. I think it just needs more time. Das Barit. Das Barit. What else we got on the list? What else we got on the list? Blow up door if hit by explosive. Listen, man, we don't really care about these things that much. Recount average rating on the main menu and set it to the save file. Okay. We made some changes to the average rating system. It might be worthwhile to get this done because how we assume your rating is kind of done differently now. So we might want to get started on this. I have not. It's on my list. Right here. Subway tunnels. It is on my list. I think the biggest thing that needs to be done is maybe the Toronto boss fight. That's a pretty big one. Improved dithering on trees. I'm curious, did I fuck up the dithering in all the other levels? Now I'm kind of concerned. Did I mess up the dithering in like all of the other levels? Let's try this one in top down. I think I did. Did I actually break the dithering? Somehow? It's not happening here, unless this level didn't get enough love fixing that stuff. But I want to say it does have dithering on it. It doesn't have any primitive data. It's using the tileable. Pretty sure it uses masking. Oh, it's used on a value of 1. Okay, so those are not a good test for this. Let's go to a different level. What's a different level that has this? Did I miss the economy part of the stream? No. Have a good stream. Hey, peace out, Ray. Do you think of working with big teams in the future, not in solo anymore? I would much rather try to build up my own legacy if I can. If this game does well, I will definitely, this time around, I think, really try to push myself to not be as procrastinating as I did. Procrastinative? I don't know what the word would be for that. Trying not to procrastinate as much as I did with this game when it was when it first released. I definitely did not use my time as wisely as I should have. You're procrastinating? You're the most hardworking person I know. Okay, hey, okay. All right, listen. You don't have to be sarcastic. Okay? All right, listen. Compiling shaders, compiling shaders. Still... It's still sort of working, just not as well as I'd like it to. Oh shit, the sniper. Sniper, what are you doing? Sniper. Sniper. What? Someone help him. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? He's mind broken. He doesn't have a controller. What do you mean? You mean his brain went okay. What do you mean his brain went pew? All right, falafel. Ah, he's in the wrong level. I hope I didn't do that in other levels where I scattered him. Oh god. Crimson skills, incredible game dev, drinking water, incredible game dev, funny, filling the sink with cups. I don't do that. There might be one coffee cup in there. Incredible game level design. I don't know about that one. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. Safari seems to be working in the levels I've played so far. That's because you didn't die. Once I died, this guy went fucking kaput. His brain went bye-bye. Okay, so now he should work. I think the other levels he'll work. I think it's just this one. I remember taking a... I like the sniper, man. He adds a little bit of a scary factor. Watch this. I did die? Oh. So pumped for the PvP update. Oh shit. You see that guy fly and hit the wall? Damn. That was hard. That went hard. Damn. That was crazy. Wait, are they trying to go through the, uh-oh. I think they tried to go through the window, but the window didn't have collision yet. Urgh. Yeah. The one problem I have with this level is that once you kill all the enemies, we don't spawn anymore when you plant the bombs. That's my only problem with this level, is it gets kind of boring. My one issue with it. Also, sometimes you do find a moment where I don't at all know where the C4 is. And I'm the dev. And, oh, there it is. Maybe we want to put like a little thing on the ground that shows where things are. All the rugs turn into trapdoors? Nah, man, I just make the enemies just spawn around you. Show it on the map? What map? We don't have a map. Maybe that's what the game needs. A map. A mini map. Nah, that's scope creep, guys. That's giga scope creep. You don't want to do that, bro. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Watch me. Oh, shit. Attempted to access laser via property laser, but laser's pending kill. For real though, add a compass or something around the player to add those objective markers to, maybe? Yeah. Like ideally, I think the initial idea I had for that level is that the player learns where the C4 are and then goes to them and stuff like that. But now after playing it, it's kind of like you're kind of just searching around for those points. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out, okay? Wrong level. If we put a mini map in the game, like I don't know how I would do a compass. That guy saw me. You kidding me? He didn't see me. He's getting confused. Should we add a mini map? I think it's optional. Oh yeah, 100%. It would be optional. I don't know if I want to do that, man. Technically, we got 2 weeks because I got to wait for the localization companies to do stuff. So technically, we have time. Yep, see you later. In the pool you go! Wait, the grenade isn't... the grenade is not blowing up in the water. It's just staying there. Feature? Maybe. Am I hiding the ceilings with the shader or they simply don't exist? I hide them with tags. So in third person we get the ceilings. In top down, I just hide them. I think the problem is there's not enough enemies spawning in while we're planting the bombs. So it kind of just becomes a little bit of like just a scavenger hunt rather than us doing cool shit. You know what I mean? I think that's part of the problem. We got 12 seconds to go. Does it play a beeping noise? Who cares? I don't know. Maybe? Could you add like a sound effect that gets louder as you get closer to a C4? I was thinking about that. Some sort of like sound effect could be pretty useful. Not a compass, but simple arrows pointing in general directions, showing at the player's feet. Could even set it up to be like press X to show objectives. I don't know how to do that. Like, I guess. The water put out the fuse. I just dumped you some stuff too. That's fine. What you got on the list? Let's see what you got. Was it in this list? Missing wall. In the hotel. The mirror reflects bullets. That's intended. There's a challenge in one of the levels to kill an enemy with the mirror. Outside Cathedral has some stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it does. Yep. Yep, you're right. Listen, man, you got to open it a little bit more gently. All right, open it a little gently. Okay, the reason why we did this system, it's just for some reason it gets used, it just does things in a weird way. If the door suddenly, like the player runs through it, it will break it off the hinges just in case, so then you don't get stuck. But sometimes, you know, sometimes that happens. The mission after the priest has no skybox. Oh, the art exhibit. Oh, right. The art exhibit does not have a skybox. Interesting. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. So it does not. Apparently. Okay, there we go. Although it does look kind of fucking ugly that there is like nothing surrounding this area. Oh, it sucks, man. This area is not being used at all because it was too much. Now we had the idea of like using this area as a separate level, but I'm like too fucking lazy to add another level. Balls. Humongous. Balls. Okay, so this should be dark. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Minimap will be a lot more work than an objective compass. It probably would be a lot more work just because a lot of levels would need it, whereas the compass could be like a level-to-level specific thing. Unless I made the minimap dynamic, so it rendered it in real time, which is probably more expensive than we'd want, and would probably require a lot of manual work to get that to work. Probably not desired. I don't know how I would do a compass though. Like, I genuinely don't know how I would do a compass. What would I do? Like set up waypoints or something? How would that work? I don't know. No idea. Don't know how it works. Let me take a look at some additional stuff on this list. There's a hole in the wall in 3 pp. 3 pp. Oh, you are correct. We're just straight up missing a wall in this ugly ass fucking level. This level needs some work. I ain't gonna lie. This level needs it needs some love. It needs a little love. It's definitely lacking in the love department. And I ain't talking sex. I'm talking like it looks ugly as hell. All right. Well, there it is. God, this level looks like fucking ass. Yeah, I think we need to do some visual upgrades on the third person for this level. It is, not good. Like, this is also... Yeah, we might... Okay, this is just a little, you know, thing. Mansion gray, put that in there, just so we have a little bit of a material on the walls. Oh yeah, what's the light map density of these things? Oh. Doesn't have a light map density. Gee. Uh-oh. Well, it would appear whatever that was is now... I guess we'll just turn it on. I hope that didn't break anything. Alright, the light map density is not resetting. It's now just low... The light maps are all very low density. Except for this one, apparently. Yeah, we gotta... I think we have to redesign the third person in this level. Anyways, I slapped a wall in. We have a wall. Fantastic. Fantastic. I guess instead for top down to see past the door though, could use some improvement on entering this area. Oh yeah. This level looks great in top down, not so great in third person. Yeah. It instantly just dies. Oh man. Yeah, water kills you in this game. It just topples over. It's the most goofy ragdoll because it went from slow-mo to no slow-mo, and I think it speeds up everything because there's a bug there. So it just went... Oh god. Yeah, some people have asked, hey, can you make the water not kill the player? Listen, I'm not putting in a water state. I'm gonna be honest. If you fall in the water, it's like lava. Hey man, you looked good falling in there though. Like look at that suit. A little bit of clipping going on there. Yeah, I love it. Component on the game state as an objective manager. EC4 has an objective marker component. They'll assign such remove themselves to such from the manager. Then the player can just say, give me all the available objective actors. That manager component. Top down will show arrows around the player's feet. And third person, you can just show arrows that render through the world or add UI arrows above them. Give the man power to walk on water. Okay, so there's one issue that I saw right here. That is in city. City 2, city start. There's one in the critical out of bounds thread too, with the player getting stuck in an AI spawning outside the playable area. The indicator thinks an enemy is nearby still. Huh. Maybe are they upstairs? No. The ghost indicator. You know what? If someone gets over there, I'll just let it happen. Wait. Oh my god. He's making it worse. You know what this does tell me though? The third person on the ceiling here, the roof aren't showing up. You know what, man? I'll let it happen. I feel like people have fun doing stuff like this. You know, why ruin the fun? You went out of your way to do that, right? I feel like you kind of went out of your way to do that. Player gets stuck. Also, the AI spawned outside the playable area, which is why I went here. Oh, I think I know what happened there. Good catch. Let me fix this one first. Thank you. Good catches. That's because I moved where that vent was, and because I moved it, it also moved where you end up teleporting. So that's in underground. Not that one. It's in subway utility halls. Okay, problem solved. Next one. What's next on the list? Player gets stuck. Also, AI spawn outside the player area, which is why I went here. How did he get up there? Ends the clip. AI spawned outside the playable area. Trains. Let's go to trains. I have a feeling there's maybe some navigation on that escalator. The only spot that has navigation is right up here. So did he spawn up here? Perhaps. The hell? I'm gonna assume he spawned up here because it kind of looked like he did, but it's kind of weird that he did spawn up here. No way he could have gotten launched up there, right? He didn't somehow get launched up there somehow, right? Like, he didn't somehow launch himself up there. Wait, isn't he supposed to use the spawn points? Wait a fucking second. Enemy spawn point 1. Enemy spawn point 2. How did he spawn up there? How the fuck did he spawn up there? That doesn't make any sense. In fact, I'm surprised. How is he moving around on there? Because there's no navigation on it. I think he spawned here and then somehow spawned... What the hell? This guy's crazy. Wait, I'm actually confused. How the hell did he move down there? Up there makes sense. There's navigation up there. How is it? How? The Legend of the Escalator Moonwalker. I don't know how he did that. Let's take a look at this event. Random point in navigable radius, radius 500. Ow. Ow. Of course. Of course. That's probably it, but... Okay, they can't spawn in here. Just make it... Oh, shit. They could maybe spawn in here. That would be not good. Although that'd be kind of funny, but it would be not good. How about in here? Okay, good. Nothing in here. Oh, it's a grid. Okay, never mind. Thought I was going fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah, I don't see how else he could potentially spawn up here. So, I'm going to assume those are fixed. Is there anything else in here? Indicator thinks an enemy is nearby still. I wonder, is that due to the... It definitely seems like there's a bug here. Like, it looks like there's someone upstairs. But then it appeared near the escalator. Like, right here. So, there's a ghost. One of these motherfuckers a ghost. This motherfucker's a ghost. Well, I'll put that in the bug list, I guess. Yeah, Subway's haunted. In 2006, a kid died here, and now it is haunted forever. If you say the magic words, Billy, come out. Weird, crazy shit will occur in the subway. Grim, do I like Escape from Tarkov? Yeah, it's alright. I might be employed, boss. Alright, listen, wait until it's no longer might and more as I am employed, alright? But congratulations nonetheless. Yeah, if we do the objective one, we could do that. Have markers, do component-based system. Yeah. Could do that. I had an awkward introduction with the team, so I think that means I'm in. That's how it always goes, man. That's how it always goes. Where's my phone? I hope I paused my... I think I did. Sorry, my phone's on the ground because it's charging. Okay, I think that's fixed. I don't know. Maybe? Probably. There's no navigation up here, is there? Oh, looks about right. I have an idea for a game, but I fear I may be working on it until I'm 800 years old. Are there any ways that you can maybe reduce it so you are not 800 years old by the time you finish it? Got any ideas? Any at all? He just spawned on top. Yeah, it's possibly just spawned up here. But is that a radius of 500? Like, that doesn't... You know what I mean? Like... That's 1,000. This is 500. How the fuck? How did he get up there? How do you get up there? Maybe this navigation is not enough. Maybe somehow navigation gets built on top of the escalator when I package the game. No, because I'm stubborn and I want to do it all? Well, sounds like you got to get started right now. Time to start. Right now. She asked me questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where'd you go to school? How do you handle stress? What did your last boss say about you? I think I did well. I thought she was going to ask, why do you want to work here? Or what's your biggest weakness? Why do you want to work here? Well, I need money. I need money. Yeah. I need money. Honestly, the best answer to that is... I feel like the best answer to that is relatively truthful, is, well, I want to learn new skills. And I want to improve my abilities within the specific sector of what I'm doing here at this job. I feel like that's, you know what I mean? That's like an honest answer to that kind of fucking stupid question that they ask in interviews. Well, why do you want to work here? Sounds generic. I think every answer that you give for that fucking... The question itself is generic. Why do you want to work here? It's like... It's a fucking stupid generic question that's like on an interview template. So the answers in response to a generic question are most likely going to be generic answers. It's not like, well, I really liked your guys' motto and I thought it could be an inspiring place to work long term. Fucking, yeah, all right. Which AI generator did you fucking use for that one? Where do you see Suitfire in 5 years? Well, past me would have, yeah. Past me would have thought the game would be done by now. Current me, the game would be done, hopefully, by then. This is a nice subject to join in on, especially when you went over 160 plus projects as a freelancer. I feel like contractors, you don't get asked as many of those kind of stupid, silly questions. But maybe we do. I feel like it's a lot more simple. It's like, just throw me in. Let's get some work done. I was asked that question, I think, during like my Amazon associate fucking interview, though. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if an interview asks you that question, I feel like it's a dead giveaway about HR at that company. I feel like when an interviewer asks you that question, why do you want to work here? I feel like it's kind of a dead giveaway on HR. It's like, yeah, these guys are not, they don't really, they're not like, you know, coming up with interesting questions. Will you judge me if I say I put 6 months into procedural generation to avoid as much level design as possible? I'll slightly judge you because the thing is you still need to know level design skills to do procedural generation properly, right? Procedurally generating something is one thing, but you need to know the reasoning as to why it does specific things. Otherwise, you are just kind of throwing, you kind of just putting duct tape or like a band-aid on like a flesh wound. So at some point you will have to learn level design anyways to a degree. So your procedural generation generates things that are fun and interesting. What are you working on though? It's a action shooter. I would say it's a top-down action shooter, but now it has third person as a setting, so kind of ruins the pitch a little bit of it being a top-down shooter. Yeah. I'd like to work at Amazon. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You'd maybe like to work there for 2 years, and then you're probably burnt out for life. I feel like those kind of job places, big tech, they use you like a condom. I feel like big tech, they use their workers like condoms, you know? They just use you until you're burnt out, and then they throw you away. And then, well, now you're a used condom on the street. No one wants any of that. That's okay. I'm already burnt out. Hey, me too, man. Welcome to the 2025. Welcome to the new world. All right. Any more bugs I should know about? I'd say you're treated more like toilet paper compared to a condom. I guess you could say that. You're like a full toilet paper roll, and then once you give out, you're just like just a piece of cardboard, and then that's it. You got no more toilet paper. Is this game multiplayer too? No. I know your twin, Second Crimson? Hey, who the hell is that? You don't need to work at Amazon to be treated like that. You can work for an outsourcing company that delivers AAA standard quality and still be treated as such. I feel like that's unfortunately a very common story in any sort of company. They're your evil twin. They make AI text-based games. Oh my god, that's fucking disgusting. I puke. Is a third-person option available now? It's in the, it is indeed in the beta branch. It is not available in the main version of the game, and there's still quite a few bugs that we're trying to iron out. So it is playable, obviously with the caveats of you're basically beta testing and whatnot. Which, if you're interested in that, then the beta branch is the place for you. That's why they got my middle finger after 3 years. Yeah, I think if this game does well, I'm definitely going to take the opportunity and go full time. You guys will probably see a lot more hours of streaming if that's the case. I will definitely take the opportunity, 100%. Did I build that all alone? Nah. I don't like saying I built all of this alone because there was a lot of past people that worked on it. We got Tallow, who does all the music of the game. I don't like saying I'm a solo dev. I just do a lot. I do a lot in the game. But I'm not going to say I did it all myself because I think that would be unjust, especially to everybody that has worked on it in the past. We have a lot of localization companies, or two, but they've done work on the game as well. I would consider them as contributors towards the project as well. Had some contractors do some stuff as well for like environment art and whatnot. Tallow obviously handling all the music. We've had past people on the project in very early stages. We had someone doing programming. We had someone helping out with level design and environment art, if I remember correctly. Someone helping out with animations. We had someone doing animations work at one point as well. Yeah. Arma has mods now on PS5. Is that from which Arma is that? Arma Reforger? That's cool, man. It's cool that they have mods on console. I think that's sick. More or less a team? Yeah. Like, currently, we're just a team of 2, technically. You know? Music producer, music artist. I don't know. Music composer, artist. And myself, currently. So I would still consider it a team. I don't like using the title solo developer. I feel like that's such a fucking overrated thing nowadays. Call me grumpy. I think the solo developer tag that's being overused within the game industry is kind of just fucking overrated. I just don't really give a shit. You are grumpy? Yeah, I am. All right, I am grumpy, okay? You know, I'm less grumpy because this year, or I guess last year's taxes, I didn't have to pay anything, even though I did, technically, in installments. But I got a $5 or $45 return. That's pretty fucking sick. You can go solo, yeah, but you won't go far. I think it's just more so annoying that the whole solo tag is being used as this big overhyped like marketing ploy now. I think that's the thing that's just kind of like, yeah, I guess. It's like, oh, your game's solo. Anyways, is it good? Is the game good? I think that's the real question. Is the game good? Even the Road to Vostok guy stopped being fully solo? Yeah, if I remember correctly, he has just a bunch of contractors helping him, right? I think when you have contractors, I don't know if I would consider that as solo. I would say that's like, you know, semi-solo. I don't really care for the tag. I don't really care for the title of solo developer. I just want to make a good game. Doesn't matter if people help me or if not. I think it's yeah. My game's gonna be amazing with a lot of bugs. Hey, just look at me. Albeit the game's not amazing. I would say it's good, but not amazing. Hey, Ripper, how's it going? A few contributors that I think you put officially on his team. That's cool. Like Notch says, if you're not making your own in-game engine, you're not a real programmer. Someone added me on that post or a post, and then my response to that was, well, I'm not a programmer. I'm a game developer. I'm not a programmer. I'm a game developer. I do a bunch of shit. I want my name in the credits for being the ideas guy for the golden suit. Thanks. Yeah, get in line. All right. Get in line. Where the fuck I am? Let's maybe work on the subway tunnels. What time is it? You've been doing 3 hours? Just kidding, by the way, if it wasn't obvious, smile. I don't know if it's obvious, man. I'm gonna be honest. You know, in every joke there's a little bit of truth. And in every joke there's a little bit of truth. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. That I'll do more hunting for you? Hey, I appreciate that. I do add people to the credits if they submit a bunch of bugs and they're helping out with like a lot of testing and stuff like that. I do put them in the credits. We've got a few on the list, on the testers list on the credits. It's definitely something that I consistently update. Most likely before the 1.0 ends, I'll probably update it up a little bit more as well. The road to stock dev is expecting early access to be 2 to 4 years, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, 2 to 4 years. Crazy. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Wild. That's crazy. I would never do that. I never read credits. Who does? Let's be honest. Most people don't. Can my name be put in the credits for making a plate of chicken and fries before coming to the stream? Hey, listen, if you made me a plate of chicken and fries, I would put you as the plate of chicken and fries guy. All right. If I got that chicken and fries. All right. I do, mainly for spelling mistakes. So you're not reading the credits. You're trying to look for fucking spelling mistakes. There's so many unchecked boxes left. There's not that many unchecked boxes. What are you talking about? I want my name in the credits for making you stop drinking boba tea. Correction, the only reason why I stopped drinking boba tea is because I'm doing fucking Invisalign braces. And boba leaves like a really difficult to brush off film on the teeth. So I'd be drinking Thai tea, iced Thai tea with fucking bubble with boba in it, okay? I would. But that would probably dye my entire mouth. Then I'd be fucked. I have good news for you, Crimson. All right, Zetland, let me hear it. I want to hear I won the lottery. I wrote hire for suit and still got the result for suit for hire. You're a rock star now. I'll take it. That's basically like winning the lottery when it comes to Google these days. Hey, hell yeah. If you had those teeth removed, you wouldn't have to worry about it. All right, let's see you do it first. Drink the blue Kool-Aid and wait for it to dye your entire mouth. Yep. Where the hell? Oh, here I am. Okay, is there an easy way for me to make this interact with this and turning it off? Button. Button. Generic button. Can I change the sound effect it plays? No. Fuck. Damn it. I don't have a valve turning sound. I'm sure I could probably get one in here, but... I had my teeth removed for the duck meme. Sorry to hear about that. As long as you don't remove a rib? Why would I do that? That was some creepy music. That was pretty creepy. That was pretty creepy. What happened to the game with a character from your profile picture I was followed from back then and then stopped watching Twitch for basically a few years? Wow, that was a mouthful. Well, I put him out back. Yep. And then... no, it's on pause. If I end up going back to Ronin, it'll probably be redesigned with a similar kind of idea, but just probably redone from the ground up. I still want Demon's Sword game. I don't know if I could playtest that right now. I don't think so. I'd have to open it. We need a Ronin mentioned counter. That would just be exclamation mark parkour. You guys remember that command? What's that number at? Remember when Crimson was just doing pixel art now? I did pixel art when I first started game development. In fact, like way before it. It looked like ass. Let me see. I think I still have the video on my YouTube channel. It's like somewhere. When did I do that? Pixel art was probably like 2012? Maybe even earlier than that. It looked like shit, but you know. Damn, like look at that my entire YouTube. Some Summit 1G design stuff, making graphics. I used to make Twitch overlays for streamers. And Summit 1G was one of the people that used my overlays back in 2014. Ay. Look at that. Game development time-lapse part 1. Main menu art. December 11th, 2013. Yep. There I am, using paint.net. No way. I don't remember this. I actually don't remember this. What was I making? I don't even know what was I making? I don't even know. But I was using Eclipse, apparently. I was using Eclipse and writing in Java? Did I even know what I was doing? Even I don't know what I'm doing. And this is me in 2025. I don't remember seeing that video. That's where I recognize your name from, or Summit's overlay designer. That was a long time ago. And then someone made something better. And then that was it. The video called 7 Years of Game Dev led to this. Did I show off the pixel art video in there? Maybe I did. Yeah, I would probably keep some of the core stuff from Ronin still, like wall running and the movement and stuff. I think was fun. I think that was the most enjoyable part about it. I think I would just redesign how I did doing the combat and everything and making that feel a lot better. Yeah. If you're trying to get into level design but can't imagine spaces, do you use concepts for your level design, or do you make the levels as you go? Use references. Use whatever helps you. You know, I would just recommend that. Use real world references to kind of give you an idea of how things function. Start with like really basic stuff. Start with like some floors and figure out like where's the player going to move, and then start doing some little really simple walls and shit. Yeah. Just make it third person Mirror's Edge. It's still on Steam. Ronin, for some reason, is still on Steam. Oh no, the one that is weird, why it's still on Steam, is my other game that I think is supposed to be removed. Blades of Ortera. Can you still install the demo? No, right? You can. This is one of my old games that I was working on, like, years ago. For some reason, the demo is still downloadable. Yeah, I think the store page is at least hidden, but why is the demo still... This isn't gonna work. Like, when I hit the play button, it's not gonna work, is it? We can't see it? I know, hold on. I want to see if it actually... Oh my god. This project was 8 years ago, probably. It was a multiplayer combat demo. It was ass, but it did kind of work. My god. I remember modeling these pieces of shit. We had color customization? This didn't work. The fuck? Okay, clicking gameplay crashed the game. Oh, no, it didn't. I'm actually kind of surprised we have a settings menu. And there's an invert axis? Wait, we had this much shit? My god, there's a whole lobby and everything? I don't remember any of this. That's crazy. It crashed. Yep. It keeps crashing. Maybe because this isn't supposed to exist. Maybe Steam is like, you're not supposed to be here. Lock in. Battle will begin in 20 seconds. I hope this doesn't leak my IP. Was this game supposed to be? Listen, don't ask past me those kind of questions. The music, there's loud, very loud music. Oh my god, the fucking volume slider actually works? That's surprising. It crashed. It just keeps... It's not meant to exist. It's not meant to exist. Do you make a list of assets of everything you need for a level ahead of time, then place them, or is that not optimal workflow? I would say when you do the block out, you'll kind of figure out what you need, and then you kind of go from there. But a lot of the times I end up kind of creating things as things go. Just kept crashing, man. That was a small project from a long time ago. What was this supposed to be? I don't know. It was supposed to be like a multiplayer RPG game, Saber Art Online inspired. Wait, is the page still there? Oh my god, the page is still there. Look at that. Fantasy open world multiplayer RPG. Yeah. I wishlisted it. One day it'll release. Not ambitious at all. Yeah, well, you know, like I said, multiplayer definitely stunted my ability to learn things. But, you know, I was still learning things, clearly, as you can tell. Just, you know, a lot slower. That's a fun little project, though. Even though I didn't know what I was doing 99% of the time. And you could play multiplayer. I think I have a video of people fighting. It looked like ass, but it kind of worked. Not really, but you know. Yeah. Where am I? I'm in the button. We need to be able to turn off the fire. The fire. Fire. Yeah, I just cooked a lot of shit. The thing is, though, I gave up a lot of the past stuff, which obviously, you know, good to bad. People didn't really like that too much. There's a box here. I never know what I'm doing. When do you find out in life what you're doing? Probably never. You don't really... You know, it's just kind of... You know, it's just... Not really a thing that changes, you know? It just kind of, yeah. The specs for Atera, yeah, I was an old project, man. That was an old project. I have a bunch of remnants on my YouTube channel. I think I hid all of it, though. When I mean that I streamed all of my game development, I mean it. Like, I literally streamed a lot of it from the very beginning. Here, I'll show you guys. Look at this. So let's do 50. I know we're going on a side tangent, but, you know, maybe this might interest a few people to kind of see, like, hey, I didn't just get here overnight. Oh, we had like a bunch of these videos. We had, okay, so here's the combat system. It's muted. But you could see people were playing a multiplayer. We still kept, the line traces were still there for some reason. It was extremely janky, but you know what? It was still kind of cool that we were able to get to that point. I think nowadays I could maybe do a much better job in PvP. I'm not risking PvP, man. Ain't no way. What other stupid shit did I do? Some Fortnite stuff. Fortnite! Fortnite! Hold on. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's some VODs in here from the streams. This was, I think, a stream of working on, yeah, I'm modeling that little environment. And for some reason I was making a high poly and texturing the thing on its own rather than using a tileable material. Yep. Yeah, I definitely did not know what I was doing. Yep, I did not know what I was doing. That's funny. Does the button call a dispatcher? It calls button interacted. Very good. You need a fire extinguisher? No, we're just gonna interact with the valve. I have a strong feeling people are going to be confused. They're like, what the hell does the thing do? And they won't know. And you know what? That's okay. Being confused is all part of the job. I thought you sold your soul to get to this point? Don't get it twisted. That had to happen too. Widget text currently says proceed. What should it say? We don't have a turn valve button. Oh, shit. Open. Technically it's close, but open. It shall be open. Do once. Now, what if there is no actor to interact with? I guess it'll call nothing, but either way we should do this. Additionally, this just plays a button sound. We should probably change that. Hide the button in the pipe. I kind of like the idea of a light being on top of it. I kind of like the light being there. But we did basically hide the button there. You said you hated level design, you'd rather do other tasks, or you turned around on it, or is it still a pain to deal with and you still rather... I'd still rather build game mechanics. I think I find it more interesting, but I got better at the level design. Oh shit. The widget is in the wrong spot. So in top-down, you'll see that disappear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the level blueprint. Not the best way of doing things, but for the purposes of this, it works just fine. Not in begin play. Need to get this button and do event button interacted. And when we interact with the button, we will deactivate the particle system. And we will stop collision. Can't you disable collision? This should turn off collision across the entire thing. So let's first check. Does it kill us? It does. Now, when we push the valve, does it still kill us? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, we got a point light in here. We can also deactivate. We can also deactivate that. What would I do to deactivate a light? Just set the intensity to 0? Sick. Cool. Now, ideally, it would be cool for it to play a valve sound, like a, you know, rather than, you know, that's kind of stupid, but whatever. Is there a sound effect for this fiery thingy? Fire. Just record that sound with your mic. Flame. Oh, let me mute the stream for you guys. Nope. Nope. Like, this sounds... Wait, you guys don't actually hear the Unreal Engine sound, do you guys? Wait, this entire time, I've selected the wrong Unreal editor, so you guys don't even hear anything? Wait, no, it's still broken. It's... It's possible that I opened this editor before I started the stream. Oh, that is what it was. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. Fire. 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 All right, well, we'll just put it, we'll make our own thing. Sound music, sound music, sound S, there we go. Q, add a Q, Q. Is the game for sale? Yes, on Steam. Fire leak loop. So first we'll put in the first sound. This will be an ambiance. So let me find the fire magic. Fire magic, and then I want like a gas leak or something. Nope. How much would it cost you to sell me the whole game, like everything you've made? How much you got? How much you got? $5,000? Are you kidding me? Is this a joke to you? Come on, let's hear it. Come on, man. 5,000? You kidding me? Brother. More like 500,000, all right? And that's being generous. And add an espresso to that too. 500,000 and an espresso. A good one, 2-to-1 ratio. with 28 seconds. Add a couple zeros to that. 500k. The game has sound? Yeah, it does. I know. it do have sound. It does. Where did I just put? Hold on. Where's my sound? I literally just made one. Fire leak. Fire leak loop. Ah. No, but seriously, I genuinely think the game is worth a 500,000. Nah, well, it'd take me 10 years or more to make the amount of money on the game if you sold it to me that much. I don't know. That's the thing when it comes to investing in a product. There is a level of risk. I'm assuming you're looking at one of the Steam websites that tells you how much reviews it has, and then it tries to calculate the amount of money it earned over the past 5 years. It's about the third person. The third person's gonna make this thing sell like hotcakes. Hold on, can I deactivate it from this? That's deactivating. Deactivate audio component. Nah, it's not for sale though. When are we making a boomer shooter? That's a real good question. The sound effects aren't looping. You guys don't hear it, but I did. Looping. Okay. I would like it to fade out, actually. It kind of sounds a little shitty how it just full on. This is used in place of a stop when it's desired to fade the volume of the sound before stopping. If fade time is 0, this is the same as calling stop. This will adjust the over the time and then stop the sound. Cool. I like the sound of that. Fade out duration, 1 second. Actually, maybe 0.5. That thing has too big of an attenuation. How long have I been working on this game? Too long. Too long. Like 4 years. Way too long. Yeah, that... We don't... Override this. Well, that fade out didn't even matter because the fucking attenuation radius doesn't even go that far anymore. Well, there we go. Cool. And then, of course, then we go through the vent, which then brings us back to the beginning. Well, I didn't, because my checkpoint's not the right thing. Why is the checkpoint requirement 3 for this one at the end? Doesn't really make sense. Let's just set it to 0. There's a wall missing. There's no wall here. Well, that makes sense. We're missing a wall. Also, a door. There we go. That looks real pretty. Give me the inspiration I needed to get back to a project I put on hold in October of last year. Hey, hell yeah. Get to it. How many faces should a pipe have? However many it needs. Mm-hmm. Design isn't easy, Crimson? It's not. It's not. It's never easy. Because once you end up going to the next game, you're back at ground zero. Go back to ground zero. I like to use 16 for a full circle, but you can get away with 12. Just really depends on the size of the pipe and how it gets used and everything, right? Depends on the camera angle, all those factors. Like, our pipes look stupid because there's no normal shading on it. I have to go in here and give these things a nice smooth group. They need some smoothing groups. I don't know what happened to them, but they don't got no smoothing groups. Compute weighted normals. Wait, hold on. Nope. It would appear things fucked. Anyways, we've added this, done. Valve turns off the fire. You can go through the vent. It's sick. Cinema. Yeah. Add train ambience. Yeah. Yep. Anyways, guys, I'm getting really hungry. I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for looking at shit around. I'm back tomorrow. Hey, hell yeah, ICA. Yeah, when I first started getting into it, I had a little bit of Photoshop experience and Blender experience, and that definitely helped a little bit to kind of get into it. And then, you know, I ended up just doing blueprints and figuring it out. So, if I can do it, I think anybody can do it. It's just, you gotta be, I guess, find the thing that makes you interested to keep learning it and push through the frustrations. That's the biggest one. Push through the frustrations of shit not working. Anyways. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Yeah. Goodbye.